All right, so I want to talk a little bit about basic rowing and how to take somebody who's brand new to CrossFit to the rower and really set them up for success and get them started on the right foot as far as learning how to row properly. When I'm starting off, when we're here at Twin Bridges starting off somebody who's brand new on the rower, we're focusing on two different things. I'm focusing on helping them understand how to sequence the movements together so that they can start to really develop the muscle memory they're going to need to be good at the rower. So I'm focused on sequencing the movements, and then I'm focusing on tempo. So right off the bat, what I'm talking to people about is before I get into anything with them about super kind of more in-depth stuff, very basically, after we've got them set up on the rower and I've talked to them about how to set up the foot straps, I've talked to them about the difference between calories and meters, very, very, very briefly talked about the damper a little bit. The instruction I'm going to give to them is I'm going to talk to them about how I want to sequence together. We're going to break our rowing stroke down into 3 pieces. Well, really 6 pieces. So I'm going to talk to them about the first thing they're going to do is come to the catch, and we'll go ahead and introduce the term the catch to them. So we say the catch is the position that every stroke starts and finishes at. So this is the catch, and at the catch I'm sitting up nice and tall, my heels are down, I've got good posture. This is where I'm going to raise my hands just a little bit. This is where I'm going to start and finish every stroke. From here, we're only trying to remember 3 things. All we have to focus on is remembering 3 things and then reversing those 3 things. So breaking the rowing stroke down into pieces, into progressions, has the same benefits that come from breaking down skilled barbell movements into progressions. So when we're teaching somebody how to snatch, we don't hand them a barbell and say, here's what a snatch is, now it's your turn. We break it down into progressions to make it easier, little digestible bites. Same thing we're going to do with the rower. So the bites that I'm going to introduce a new person to on the rower are legs, body, arms, legs, body, arms, body, legs. Legs, body, arms, body, legs. So stop right there. So with somebody who's brand new, I'll actually make that person break those pieces down into more defined, individually defined pieces. What I'll say to a brand new person is, we're going to treat these as 3 totally separate movements. Legs, body, arms, and I'll make them wait for about a second in between the 2 pieces so that they can start to focus on sequencing those movements properly, okay? So we're going to do this with Kelsey right now. So Kelsey's going to legs, pause, body, pause, arms. Now we're going to reverse, arms, body, legs. So I'm going to have the new person go through this sequence 5 to 10 times where we're just going legs, body, arms, body, legs. And then gradually, as they start to kind of get in the rhythm of it, I'll allow them to compress those breaks down into shorter and shorter pieces so that we go from a second pause in between each of those pieces to, a half second roughly. And then gradually, now we're starting to connect those pieces together so it looks like a full rowing stroke where we're still doing just the way we want it to do, the way we want to with a good full rowing stroke. We're still going legs, body, arms, body, legs, but now we're collapsing those 3 movements together, blending them together so they look like one seamless piece. So just like Kelsey's about to do, so legs, body, arms, body, legs. Legs, body, arms, body, legs. Good. So, like I said, when I'm teaching somebody brand new, we're going to talk to them first about the 3 pieces, forwards and backwards. Next thing, all I want them to remember, day 1, they leave their first rowing lesson if they leave understanding legs, body, arms, body, legs, and then tempo. If they leave those 2 things, leave here understanding those 2 things, it's been a success. So how do I teach tempo? The way I'm going to teach somebody the tempo is, now that we've understood legs, body, arms, body, legs, now that we understand that, what I want them to think about is, I want the drive portion of the stroke, so the part where they're pushing themselves away from the machine, I want them to think about that taking 1 second, and then the part where they're coming back, the recovery, where they're coming back to the catch to start their next stroke, that should take 2 seconds. So the recovery should take twice as long as the drive, okay? So if we can focus on legs, body, arms, body, legs, and then 1 second to 2 second work to rest ratio, if I can get good at those things right off the bat, if I can leave day 1 understanding those 2 concepts, I'll be setting myself up for success and have a bright road ahead of me on the rower. So we're going to go legs, body, arms in 1 second, and then arms, body, legs in 2 seconds. Go. So do a few regular strokes. Good. Okay. So Teaching rowing to brand new folks, so to brand new people and to folks who have spent some time on the rower but have never really received proper instruction or good instruction, teaching them these two things accomplishes a couple things. Two of the main faults we see with folks when they are new on the rower, if they don't receive instruction, they just kind of jump on and start going. So they're too fast, first of all. They think the faster they go, the better things are. And so by making them work on their tempo, by forcing them to spend 1 second and then 2 seconds, it forces them to start correcting that improper tempo. Or if today's day one on the rower, it allows them to learn proper tempo from the very beginning. And then the second mistake we often see with new people on the rower is, in addition to going too fast, we see them trying to perform all three of these movements all at once. So somebody will try to pull and with their arms, this kind of stuff. And then on the way back, they're collapsing together. So they'll go all the way back, and then instead of recovering the way they're supposed to, they'll just go all at once, just like that. And so we see people trying to treat the three pieces of the rowing stroke as one, which is a mistake. And then on the tempo, we see them trying to rush things. So super simple. If you're new to the rower, if you're not sure, if you feel like you're inefficient on it, just remember this. All you got to remember to get better at the rower is, and these are things that even experienced rowers, I remind myself of these things often. Legs, body, arms, arms, body, legs. If you remember that for your sequencing, and then if you remember forcing yourself to spend 1 second on your drive and then count to 2 seconds on your recovery. If you can do those two things, I promise rowing will get easier, it'll get natural, and it'll set you up in a position where you'll be ready to get better, a lot better down the road.